Shalom, Yasha Allah. First and foremost, we get all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakak Wadash, the bodies of our apostles, the elders of Great Millstone, Ruel, and peace and blessings to the hopeful elect. And I got an article here. This is NBCNews.com, and it reads, U.S. officials expect the Israeli response to Iran strikes will be limited. It says the U.S. assessment is based on conversations between American and Israeli officials before Iran's retaliatory attack Saturday night. And this came out April 15, 2024. Hopefully you're Jacob's trouble. And it reads, U.S. officials expect a possible Israeli response to Iran's attack over the weekend to be limited in scope and most likely involve strikes against Iranian military forces and Iranian-backed proxies outside Iran, four U.S. officials told NBC News. The U.S. assessment is based on conversations between U.S. and Israeli officials that happened before Iran fired more than 300 drones and missiles at Israel on Saturday night. As Israel was preparing for a possible Iranian attack last week, Israeli officials briefed U.S. officials about possible response options. The U.S. officials said the U.S. officials stressed that they have not been briefed on Israel's final decision about how it will respond and that the options could have changed since the weekend attack. They also said that it is not clear when the Israeli response will happen, but that it could happen at any time. President Joe Biden and other leaders have called for restraint after Israel vowed it would respond to Iran's attack Saturday, which was in retaliation for an Israeli strike April 1st on an Iranian consular building in Syria, which killed two of Tehran's top generals. And as you notice, whenever it's a lot in the past couple of years, maybe even 3-4 years, a lot of top generals or top, military officials, top, I think it was an engineer, scientist, something, whatever the case may be. A lot of those top individuals from Iran have been, assassinated, targeted, or, killed, and that means that'll ruffle some feathers over there on the Iranian side. They vow to say they're gonna do this and that, and here we are, right? It say the scenarios breathed about last week regarding possible retaliatory action for the consular strike range from a modest attack by Iran to a widespread attack that has resulted in Israeli casualties and the destruction of Israeli facilities, the officials said. The potential Israeli responses range from no military action to strikes inside Iran. Because the Iranian attack did not result in Israeli deaths or widespread destruction, the U.S. officials said Israel could respond with one of its less aggressive options, strikes outside Iran. The options could conclude striking inside Syria, 3 U.S. officials said. The officials do not expect the response to target senior Iranian officials, but to instead strike shipments or storage facilities with advanced missile parts, weapons, or components that are sent from Iran to Hezbollah. The U.S. does not intend to take part in the military response, the officials added. They do expect Israel to share information about the actions with Washington in advance, specifically if it could have negative repercussions for Americans in the region. As Israeli officials said Monday after a meeting of Israel's war cabinet, that Israel's response to the Iranian attack may be imminent, noting that decision makers believed it was important for any response to follow close to the attack. The Israeli official said several diplomatic and military options were examined during the meeting. It says the U.S. and other allies came to Israel's aid during the strikes, helping it intercept the vast majority of drones and missiles fired at the country. But in a call Saturday, President Joe Biden told Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu that the U.S. would not participate in offensive operations against Iran, a senior administrative official has said. It says, of course, the diplomats has condemned the weekend strikes while also cautioning against further escalation in the region. So, so like I said, over the weekend, definitely, some great excitement with Iran, striking Israel. But, of course, we understand that, yes, the main focus will be in the Middle East. Yes, we do, believe that something going to pop up between those two nations to ultimately usher in the third world's woe. But we understand right now, before we can even get into that, what the MOTB, that grain of rice, so to speak, has to be implemented across the world. So yeah, these are, these do pertain to the prophecies of the attacks and stuff like that. or like the scripture say, what, rumors, wars and rumors of war. That's about to get right now, but we understand that, hey, much more got to happen before we are, said at that very definite end, for the Third World War, to happen. So this is Matthew chapter 24, verse 6. And it says, ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. So even when you see rumors of wars, or nations talking about doing this and doing that, and actual things happen like this, you got to understand that there's still things in between that still have to come to pass first, right? Jacob's trouble ain't took off yet, even though we believe we're in the beginning stages, but we're not in full-fledged chaos, right? That stuff got to come to pass. Great, famines, great pestilences, great, all these greater things, in regards to the scriptures, of course, the MOTB, the concentration camp, so forth and so on, martial law, all these things have to happen, before we make it to that very end, with the Third World War, especially like I said, the MOTB, can't stress it enough that has to be implemented in the world before the Third World War will come to pass. So again, it's saying, you shall hear of wars and rumors of wars, see that ye be not troubled. So when you hear these things, be not troubled, right? If you're in the right spirit, well, you're going to be of a joyful, happy, heart, because we understand that we draw nigh and closer to the destruction of this place and the salvation of the elect. Lord will be of that number. It say, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet, right? So those things are going to come to pass. Rumors of wars, they're going to come to pass, but hey, the end is not yet, right? For nation shall rise against nation and kingdom against kingdom. And if you're paying attention to what's going on, in the world, hey, a lot of nations are at each other's throats. Nations are siding with this nation. Nations are siding with that nation. Alliances are being built because they know, and more military buildups are happening because they know that something gonna kick off. They don't know what they don't know what the event may be. The only one that knows is Yahweh Bashim Abashai, but they don't know. But we understand that it's gonna come to pass no matter what. Right? And it's saying there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places, right? All these are the beginning of sorrows, right? So what sorrowful times are coming, right? As a matter of fact, Salakia. 2 Timothy chapter 3, verse 1. I don't know what I put, but it say, this know also that, look, say what difficult times will come. This know also that in the last days, which we are in the last days, the last of the last days, perilous times shall come. Right? So we understand, man, perilous times, horrible times. Let's get to that word, perilous.
Strong's G 5467. Chalepas.
Chalepas, which means what? Say what? Difficult, dangerous, furious, fierce, right? Hard to do, to take, to approach, hard to bear, troublesome, harsh, fierce, savage. See, those times are coming. And when we understand what the love of many that's waxing cold and so forth and so on, but especially when these wars come, because when this war break out, it's us against y'all. They don't care about, the elderly, the young, the dogs, they don't care about none of that. The kids, the children, the schools, hospital, they don't care about none of that. All they care about is what? Destroying the enemy to reign victorious. And we understand that's what's going to happen when that Third World coming. But understand, hey man, evil times, is prepared for this place. As a whole, right here, Ezekiel chapter 7, verse 5, thus saith Yahweh Bashim Abashai, power and evil and only evil, behold, is come. Only bad times is coming. Right? Eve meaning time, ill meaning bad. That's the only thing that's coming. Right? On this side. It say, the end is coming, watch for thee, behold, it is come. And we are in the end. So as time continues to press on, things are going to get worse and get worse and get worse until that great day of destruction and the great day at the same time, simultaneously, that great deliverance of the elect. Starting over here in Babylon the Great and to the west, to the four corners of the earth. And that's ultimately all I got on that. Like I said, just stay tuned, stay prayed up, do everything you got to do, to the best of your ability to, like I said, give that diligence to make your call and election sure. Want to get all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, Rakakwadash, the honors of our apostles, the elders, a great millstone, who we will. And peace and blessings to the hopeful elect. Shalom.